of all, this is Emma. Emma is a student. She's working on her Georgia exam. And so, Emma, how long have you been studying for?
So I've been studying since I think since I finished my class like June, July.
Okay. So about normal, like most people, it's, a few months, right? What is this thing that has been like, okay, this helps me retain my information really well? Like what's working for you? Everybody's different, but what works best for you?
I think the webinars, like joining the
Yeah.
webinars and going to the live sessions, I think that been helping me and your website. Like it'll
Yeah.
aid me with the math problems because
Yeah.
I stopped trying to solve them myself. If I can't do it, you have like a video on the side that explains,
Yeah.
and that really did help me like understanding
Good.
a lot of math problems.
So now we're down to the financing section, with so many people struggle with the financing section. It's a lot of our test. It's a big part of our test, but I know you've been working hard on it. So which lender is a major source for junior loans negotiated today? Where does a lot of money come from that we're making loans with?
The private lenders.
Private lenders, right? Even the FHA loans and the VA loans that people are borrowing, even though we call those government loans, right? The money's not coming from the government. It's being insured or guaranteed by the government through those programs. But the money comes from the lender, the private lender. He gives us these loans, and that's how they make money off the interest. Which of the following describes a mortgage that requires principal and interest payments at regular intervals and is called the liquidation of debt by periodic installment until the debt is satisfied? Now, when you're paying back a mortgage until it's all the way done and the debt is completely paid back, is that an amortized loan, an acceleration loan, an annuity loan, or an assemblage loan?
It would be a
Yeah, the amortized loan. If I had a 30-year amortized loan, at the end of 30 years, how much do I owe you?
nothing.
Nothing. Is completely paid back, right? Now, what if I didn't have an amortized loan? What if I only paid the interest? What if the loan was interest only? How much would I owe at the end? Or I guess a better question would be, what's the big payment of how much I owe at the end called?
You have a balloon payment at the
We
end?
have a balloon payment. A balloon payment would happen with a interest only loan. It would happen on a partially amortized loan. I paid part of the money back, but I didn't pay it all back, right? And I've got to pay that balloon payment at the end. Now, when I'm paying my payments on my amortized loan, a lot of times the bank will use this term. They will say that you're paying a PITI payment, right? PITI payment. What are some things that are included in my PITI payment? Remember, what are some of the things?
Your principal, interest, insurance, PI, insurance.
Yep.
eh,
And taxes, right? Property taxes.
Yeah.
Now, pretend for a minute that you're my lender and you're charging me a PITI payment. Now, I can understand as the borrower here why you care about getting my principal payment, because that's me paying the money back to you, right? And I can also understand why you want the interest, because that's your profit from me. But why do you collect the money for my property taxes and my insurance? Why do you care about that as the lender? Why does that affect you?
In case if anything happens to the property or if you default on the payment, they got you.
Yeah. If I don't pay my property taxes, depending on where I'm at, the government might come and take the house, and the house is the bank's collateral, and that's not going to make them very happy, right? If I don't pay my insurance and my Christmas tree catches on fire and my house burns down, oh no, right? The bank is then out of collateral too, because the house is gone. They're like, wait, this was the thing that we were holding on to and now it's disappeared. So to make sure that we keep up with those things and protect the bank, a lot of times they will do the PITI payments. A buyer wants to take out an FHA loan. The broker should refer the buyer directly to where? Where would they go to get this FHA loan? Would it be an FHA appraiser in the area? Would it be any approved lending institution, such as a bank or a savings and loan association? Would it be the Federal Housing Administration Office? Or would it be the Federal National Mortgage Association? Who is going to make that loan?
B, any
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here's a good one. And this is a real life one. So if we talk about a credit score scale used by many mortgage lenders that use a risk-based system to determine the possibility that the borrower may default on financial obligations to the mortgage lender, is known as a what? What is this score called? Is it the pre-approval, the preliminary report, the balance sheet, or the FICO score?
The FICO score?
FICO score. Why does the lender care about my credit score? When they do, but what are they trying to kind of predict?
The how risky it's gonna be, like what type of how long to see how responsible you are.
Yeah, basically, if I have a history of paying my debts on time and to managing my money well, and I have a good credit score, this is not always true, right? Sometimes people can kind of tinker a little bit with their credit score by doing little tricks and tips and things. But for the most part, over time, if my credit history is good, then I have a habit of paying my bills on time. Unless something unexpected happens in my life that prevents me from doing it, that's probably how I'm going to do things. It's not always true. What if, if I got sick or I lost my job, I may not be able to pay back. But they're looking at my attitude towards money there a lot of times. A loan made with real estate as security and not involving government participation in the form of insuring, guaranteeing, or direct lending is known as what kind of loan? Is that a budget mortgage, a bankrupt bond, a standby loan, or a conventional loan?
E?
Yeah, that's the conventional loan, right? Now, you said it a minute ago, how much, because now the government's not insuring it, the government's not guaranteeing it. The bank says, okay, we would love you to have how much down payment? What would they like?
20%.
20%. Now, all is not always lost. If I don't have the full 20%, they may still make me the loan. But if they still make me the loan with less than 20% down, many times the conventional loan lender is going to ask me to buy what to keep them safe?
Not PMR, no.
Yeah,
PMI.
right. PMI, the private mortgage insurance, right? So that would protect them of the following, which is the best definition of a balloon payment. Is it the required payment of the interest that is accumulated prior to the first regular installment? Is it the required payment of the entire balance due? Is it the 10th annual payment on a 30-year loan? Or is it a payment to prevent a prepayment penalty? What do you think on balloon payment?
B?
Yeah. So that's when I'm like, I haven't got it all paid back, just like we were talking about. Remember the kinds of loans that we might have that balloon payment on? What were they?
Partial amortized loan.
All right. So next we have David sold his home and agreed to take back a note and trust deed as part of the purchase price. He wanted to have the note become due and payable if the property was resold. To accomplish this, which of the following clauses should be in the note or the trust deed? If the guy sells it, you can call it all due.
A.
Yeah. The alienation clause. He doesn't want him to wander off and alienate the lender from the deed by transferring it somewhere else. They're like, we made the loan to you, stick with it. Now, if he broke this rule, if he broke the alienation clause, they might speed up and they might say, hey, that's what the alienation clause is all about. We're not playing around with you. We want all of our money now. Now, if he doesn't have all the money at once, then they would take him to court. They would sue him for the foreclosure and that sort of thing. But that's how it would work. All right. So here's a good question. The liquidation of a financial obligation on an installment basis is commonly termed, is it amortization, conveyance, condemnation, or acceleration?
It would be A.
Yeah, amortization.